A major storm is brewing. As a transportation professional, are you prepared? That's coming up today on this episode of FBTV. Hey, how's it going, my freight broker buddies? This is FBTV. My name is Mike. I'm your host. If you were tuned in this morning to the kitchen table on FBTV Radio, well, you heard us talking about the big winter storm that is building. Going to be heavy snow expected in the mid-Atlantic, southern New England states. We're talking up to 2 feet of snow in some places, ice. Your typical winter storm. It's building now. Matter of fact, right here in my backyard in Arkansas, right around the central United States area, this storm is building, and it's getting ready to start moving off to the northeast. Some of the areas that are going to be infected, it might as well be. This isn't coronavirus, it's a winter storm. Some of the states and areas going to be affected, going to be West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, New England. Much as a foot of snow could be seen in some larger cities they're expecting, like Boston, Providence, Rhode Island, Hartford, Connecticut, Scranton, Allentown, Harrisburg, State College, PA, Patterson, New Jersey, Hagerstown, Maryland. If I pronounced it wrong, I'm sorry. Snow going to be in New York City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. Anyway, it's going to be an event. Now, as a freight broker, dispatcher, owner, operator, truck driver, are you prepared? Now, let's start off with dispatchers and freight brokers. You need to know where your loads are going. If you're picking up loads and they're headed into that area where this storm is going to be strong, you got to be thinking ahead on this. You know, there is a chance if your truck that was loaded with your load, your shipment, got up into one of these areas, they might be stranded for several days, if not something worse, and we don't want that to happen. Matter of fact, at the kitchen table this morning, I was talking about when I was a driver, I had a load, and the load was going to a destination where there was a hurricane coming ashore on the East Coast. I was somewhat new in trucking, but I had a pretty good idea that not a good idea to drive into a hurricane. I contacted my dispatcher, and my dispatcher had no clue there was any type of a hurricane out there on the East Coast, and they made other arrangements. Matter of fact, told me take it to the yard, drop it, get it empty, and find something else to do. But this is what you've got to be watching. If you've got shippers that have loads going into the heart of where this storm is going to land, you want to make sure your customer, they know about what's going on. You know, make sure they understand, hey, you know that load is going to an area where they might get up to 2 feet of snow. Just so they know, so they can talk to their customer. A lot of times their customer already know this. Now, one thing about this storm, it's still going to affect transportation, but we're in that holiday period. And inside that holiday period, freight's slowing down. People are really getting into the eggnog, into that holiday spirit, Christmas parties. Everything's starting to wind down. Be it the fiscal year, the holidays, everybody's looking forward to that time off. So this winter event here may not be as impactful as it could have been a month from now, but we're still going to be getting into that period a month from now as well. Now, if you're a driver, owner, operator, you're in this mess, yeah, I know you got your eye on the weather all the time. Dispatchers, same thing. Trucking companies, you should be making sure your drivers are safe. A lot of this, they were expecting that the temperatures could be so cold that the snow that is going to come down in the ice could hang around and be around here for Christmas. Last thing we want to do is get a driver hung out and can't get him home for the holidays. You know what I mean? So keep this in mind. Pay attention. What else do we talk about this morning? Hey, CR England, hats off to you. You are increasing your pay. Although I I don't know how much, because everybody else that is increasing pay that we've talked about for their drivers, they're giving us dollars and cents. You are just giving us percentages. 15% of zero is still zero. You know what I mean? But hats off to you for increasing your pay. If you're a driver for CR England, I know these percentages mean a lot to you, but for an average schmo like that doesn't work for CR England, we have no clue. Want to brag about it, but it's a lot nicer to brag about actual numbers than percentages. Pennsylvania, man, if you get hung out in Pennsylvania, don't expect to go in a truck stop and spend time on the gambling machines. As part of efforts to combat the continued spread of the COVID-19 coronavirus, don't know why they got that down there twice, redundant, the state of Pennsylvania shutting down all the electronic gambling machines at truck stops until next year, January 4th to be exact. Governor Tommy Wolf out there also announced the closing of indoor dining at restaurants. Here we go again. Gyms, schools, sports, and entertainment venues. The orders also capped indoor gatherings at 10 people and outdoor gatherings at 50. All other in-person businesses must operate at 50% of normal capacity. So keep your mind, just so you know, if you're going up there, you get stuck in a winter storm and you're thinking, hey, I'll hit the truck stop. I know they got slot machines. I'm going to go in there and spend my money, spend my time. Not going to happen. You may be lucky to get a restaurant open up there. South Carolina, if you're a driver in South Carolina that likes hogging the left lane, well, it's already illegal. But if you are the slow poke in the left lane, yes, you could get pulled over and get a ticket for $100. They're trying to pass a new bill out there, just so you know, that obviously the $100 isn't much of a deterrent for people driving slow in the hammer lane. They're talking about raising it, trying to get it raised to $200 plus a 2-point violation on your license. So you're going to get hit in the pocketbook, and your insurance rates are going to go up too if you don't get out of that hammer lane. Now, drivers, I know you're thinking, man, this is a great way for Pennsylvania to really take advantage of us, but no. If you're a commercial driver, CDL holder, if you're a truck, only a $50 fine for impeding traffic in the hammer lane. No points against your driving record, so that's good. And the only people that really, you know how it is. You get 265-mile-an-hour trucks going up a hill. Somebody's going to try to pass somebody. In a situation like that, you better think twice if you're in a 65-mile-an-hour truck and you want to pass another 65-mile-an-hour truck. You know who I'm talking about. You may not want to do that because you might get a ticket. New York drivers, truck drivers. New York officials have issued a warning about a possible DOT-related phishing scam with a PH, not an F, targeting drivers. Lewis County Clerk Jake Moser, if I'm pronouncing that right, is advising drivers not to reply to a letter that states you are currently past due to complete and file your biennial update with the FMCSA. As per Title 49 Code of Federal Regulations, Section 390.19, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it goes on down through here talking about, hey, you need to follow, then it's got a website and a phone number on that email as well, or the letter you receive. Don't go to the website. Don't go to the phone number. Don't call it. Check with your local authorities, your local offices. This is just a phishing scam, so don't do that. Big accident yesterday out there on Interstate 40 by Knoxville. We understand that two drivers were involved. We understand one was admitted to the hospital. Don't know his condition or her condition. We're not even sure. But 24 tons of powdered sugar was spread out over Interstate 40 out there by Knoxville. That had to be a mess. Anyway, they got that cleaned up. What else is going on? Pretty much it. So, The main point of today's video is if you're a broker, a dispatcher, pay attention to what's happening with the weather right now. You've got to be on the lookout for the driver, for the truck, for your customer, as well as their customer. A great time for you to prove your worth to your customers and up that level of customer service. All right, go have a great Tuesday, unless, of course, you've made other plans.